Yes, so we are live. Yes, fantastic. So welcome to the next session. We are now going to have a keynote with Daniel Marco. We have the honor of having him with us again this year, supporting us both as one of our sponsors and also supporting the whole ecosystem in Catalonia, the whole blockchain ecosystem in Catalonia. Daniel Marco is the General Director of the Digital Economy at the Catalan government. And he's now going to do a keynote explaining what they are doing within Catalonia to support the blockchain ecosystem in Catalonia. So please go ahead, Daniel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victoria. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome also to Catalonia. First of all, congratulations to all the team of the European Blockchain Convention, because it's a very great event, and I am very pleased to be here sharing which is our objectives, what we are doing from the government of Catalonia to boost our local ecosystem, and also to combine these technologies, distributed ledger technologies and blockchain technologies, with other key disruptive technologies from our side. I am from the police department of the government of Catalonia. For first time in the last years, Catalonia has a specific department to develop digital policies, and this has been very relevant for me, for my job, but also for our ecosystem, because we have a minister that is working to help companies and to promote the adoption of digital technologies in our country. I am going to share my screen. I hope you are seeing the presentation. And first of all, a little bit of framework, why Catalonia, why our ecosystem is here. All of us know that we are really, from the last 70 years, incorporating different kind of technologies, and these technologies has a huge impact in our lives. I want to talk also not only about the changes that we have in our lives, it's also a change of an era. We are talking about a new revolution. We had the agricultural revolution, later on the industrial revolution. Right now we are in this digital revolution. And when we are talking about a revolution, we're talking really about the change of the society itself, not only the incorporation of technology in some parts of our economy, of our lives. And one of the characteristics of this revolution is the acceleration of this change. You know that the Moore's law that generates an exponential growth of the digital technologies. We have every year a cheaper, more advanced and more fast digital technologies, from the silicon transistor, the personal computer, the internet, mobile devices, and right now with digital technologies, what we call digital advanced technologies. This acceleration, it's also impacting very hard about which is the effort that companies get about our technology. Right now, we identify, we call it emerging technologies, disruptive digital technologies, or digital advanced technologies. We identify several of that about to develop in our country. Internet of Things, big data, cybersecurity, 3D printing, virtual reality, augmented reality, robotics, drones, blockchain, artificial intelligence, 5G, new space of nanosatellites, or quantum technologies. These are different technologies that we identified as a focus. But when we are talking about one of these technologies, is not an standalone technologies. Right now, really the disruption comes with the merge of these different technologies. When you combine blockchain with artificial intelligence and IoT, when you combine 3D printing with cybersecurity or drones, here is the real impact for the companies. And the impact of these technologies needs to be really connected to people. We are not only creating technology by itself. We want to provide better environment for our children. We want to generate better quality of life for our citizens, or a big, more productive economy for our industries. That is when appears the concept of autonomous mobility, virtual tourism, remote tourism, or the cares of elderly people. But if all these technologies are available, we have robots, we have drones, we have blockchain itself. If the technology is mature enough, why we are not using this really in our lives every day, at every time? It's one of the purposes because the behavior of the people, the society itself, is not changing as fast as technology. It's what is called the exponential growth surprise factor. We expect to have a technology that is not as advanced as we have now. And it's very difficult for the mind of the human behavior to incorporate these changes. We have the more advanced society or early adopters sectors that starts because they need to change very fast. But normally we have some troubles to incorporate these kind of technologies. But during the last months, we have in the global economy and the global society a very strong crisis, and it has changed a lot for digital technologies. I call it that the COVID effect. During the last months, we have been remote working, e-learning, remote assistance for health, robots in our streets that were disinfecting different areas, control of the beaches or the streets, the parks with drones, and also the use of artificial intelligence in many areas. And this has been, in 6 months, the acceleration process that a society needs to have 5 years. Maybe this is an opportunity for all of us to really put the advanced technology that we already have available for helping really our different sectors and society. From the government of Catalonia, we have been working very hard in different national strategies to develop an ecosystem, but also a place of use of these kind of technologies. We identified 3 of that digital advanced technologies as the main key technologies for the change of our society. 5G technology, blockchain or distributed ledger technologies, and artificial intelligence. In any of these technologies, we develop a strategy, and we have already approved that. In February 2019, we approved the 5G strategy. That 5G will provide us the intelligent connectivity. Everything will be connected with very high bandwidth, with very low latency, and with the capacity of distributed computing. That means to have very near to anything that is happening, the capacity of making computing. Artificial intelligence will provide the capacity of analyze a big amounts of data, to automatize the processes and provide more efficient, but also more environment to us. Finally, we have blockchain. Blockchain will provide a new governance of our internet, a new governance of the digital space, a new governance where people, citizens will be empowered, where the companies will have the same opportunities, not depending of the size, not depending of the power they has on the market. And this is very relevant for us and as a public entity to democratize the transactions in the digital space. In this sense, we approved in, I think it was in October 2019, the blockchain strategy for Catalonia. The blockchain strategy for Catalonia has 6 areas of action: ecosystem, promotion, talent, innovation, regulation, and government. We want to accelerate the use of these technologies in the public sector and to promote the adoption in the private sector. We want to make an awareness for the different areas of the society and promote
Hello. I think we have a little technical issue. So if you can wait for a little while, we will try to, yeah, I think he's coming back. Daniel.
Hello?
Yeah, perfect. You're back.
I think I had a short...
Don't you worry. Just connect the presentation and you can continue. Thank you.
Okay. I am already here. We were talking about the areas of our strategy, and also analyzing the regulation and how blockchain technologies fits with all GDPR and other areas, because, as you know, the regulation and some constraints of the public administrations we have some barriers, and we need to open this kind of barriers. If we focus on the ecosystem, Catalan ecosystem, it's an emerging ecosystem. It's really an starting ecosystem, but we already have a lot of companies, institutions, and initiatives that are working to develop, to foster our startups and to promote this kind of adoption. The last mapping of companies that we did, I think it was 6 months ago, we identified 76 companies that are quite small companies with more or less 5 employees in average, and less than 200,000 turnover by year. But it's an ecosystem that is growing year by year. Last year, 18 months ago, we mapped less than 40 companies. That means that we are almost doubling every year these kind of companies. Also, we have different institutions that are helping our ecosystem. And for us, to boost, to create, to generate this kind of companies, an environment that helps these companies, it's very relevant, because for us, these companies, if they are close to our sectors, they are close to our institutions, they will help also to understand and to adopt these blockchain technologies. One of the areas where Barcelona is very well known is about the congresses, the fairs, and the trade shows. We have some of the most relevant blockchain events in Europe. Today and yesterday, we have the European Blockchain Convention that are already in place, and we have done 3 times presentially here in Barcelona. But we have also other very big events. In October, we will have the Democracy for All event that is more related to governance, to democracy, to public engagement, and how to adopt these technologies for develop this kind of new governance. Also in the industry, with Fira de Barcelona, we have a trade show about blockchain. This is very relevant to have this door to the world, to connect our startups. In the European Blockchain Convention, we have 6 startups in our Catalan pavilion. Please go to the virtual sponsors booth to talk with them. And these are also a way to connect, to make B2B interaction with international. But also we develop a lot of small meetings, meetups, and small conferences to provide information about blockchain in agriculture, mobility, or other sectors. In the talent, when we're talking about talent, we have already 2 universities that has master degree in blockchain, and some of other private initiatives that are providing different trainings, and for sure also the capabilities for techie or not techie people to understand and to adopt and to provide to develop blockchain. Also, we have an initiative, is the Barcelona Digital Talent, that it's an initiative that puts together the private sector, the public sector, and all the universities to generate the new areas of expertise that our companies or our digital hub needs. And with all this, what we want is to generate the talent that is needed for the companies to develop all these kind of projects. Catalan talent, Barcelona specifically talent, is very well known, and a lot of the speakers and the developers that we have here are working maybe more from outside to the world than from specifically our local projects. But the aim is to increase this talent together with the ecosystem itself. Also, we have the area of innovation. We work with different technological centers, I2CAD, EverCAD, the UPC, or the Universitat de Girona. But also we are creating different environments for generating innovation. Blockchain Challenge is a place where we make like hackathons in blockchain. We did with waste management. Also, we have some incubators. The Barcelona Tech City incubator has a specific place where different companies of blockchain are allocated. With the Chamber of Commerce, we will launch tomorrow a center of blockchain to increase the adoption of these technologies in the companies in the private sector, and to generate also this local innovation hub. With in mind, we are working in a boot camp for startups, and there at the end what we have is different places where our startups can be connected to our research institutions, and together develop these new solutions for the companies. About the regulation, I was talking before about the concept of GDPR and how we need to analyze this kind of regulations for developing projects within the government. And finally, one of the aims, one of the purposes when we launched our strategy was to really become the government of Catalonia as one of the early adopters of this technology. We have started analyzing different opportunities. We have a working group within the government that has different departments, and all together identify some proof of concept to develop. I am going to explain you 3 or 4 of these projects. The first is one, maybe our flagship project. It's IdentiCAD. IdentiCAD is a self-sovereign digital identity. 18 months ago, we presented this project and the plan to develop that with the budget itself. But if I want to be open, right now this project has been almost stopped because the Spanish government provided regulation to stop all this innovation in blockchain related to digital identity for public administrations. But Europe, as we have been, you have been talking during the session, Europe with EPSI is developing this self-sovereign digital identity for Europe, and we, as Catalan administration, we will use this to accelerate our adoption. We are waiting for this use case of the EPSI to really integrate our no, our way of understand the digital identity for our citizens with this technology. We want to have our citizens to control their own data, to control their own identity, and not be managed by the government or by other institutions. Also related to this concept, to if the citizen has the availability to control their data, why they cannot share the data maybe for research in health? We have a project, in this case with a cooperative of data keepers on health, that is Saluscope, where we are using blockchain technology to enable the citizens to share their own health data. They have the data because they can access directly to their personal health record of the Catalan health system, and they can share directly to the research centers. And the technology, what provides, it's the rules to make this exchange, which are the citizens that want to share the data, which are the receivers, the research centers that want to use this kind of data. And with these technologies, we have the consentiment, the availability to do that, and with some specific rules. We just have this with a mobile app, and it's started to be tested in subgroup of people and research areas. Also, we are using that in the healthcare system. This is a project that is not in live, but we developed the proof of concept, and we test the technology not with real patients, and it's a support for the Catalan Office of Organ Transplants, because in the knee diseases, the citizens that are doing the dialysis, they have different providers of the dialysis, and when we have a need of transplant, all the bio indicators are shared to the transplant office. To have this in real time, to have this very anonymized, and that the Catalan Office of Transplant have access to the different providers, but not the providers itself. We implemented this infrastructure in this case with Corda technology. And finally, we are using blockchain in a project of energy. In this case, is the shared photovoltaic self-consumption. That means if I have a house with solar panels that I make photovoltaic production, I can use it for my use, but I can share it also to my neighborhood. In our case, we're doing that with public buildings, in this case in Ruby, with the schools and some justice buildings. And we have the school that is sharing the energy to the other public buildings. And we have a tokenization model over a blockchain that provides this exchange. And at the end of the year, when the exchange have finished, then if I am providing or I am receiving more electricity to the system, I will pay to the others. This is really, really, very disruptive. Right now, the current regulation provides availability to do that only in 500 meters of area. But in the next years, Europe is promoting a new directive to change it, and then maybe we can exchange all these networks between different neighborhoods or between different cities, and then self-consumption will be more affordable for people that has the possibility to do that. At the end, what we have in Catalonia, it's a strong strategy for develop digital technologies, a prioritization of blockchain and distributed technologies as a way of provide more empowerment in the digital space for our citizens, to bring more efficiency in our more distributed digital economy. And all this will be driven by the talent, by the ecosystem, And that is why we have a very focus on helping this kind of startups and ecosystems. Thank you very much. If there is any question to answer, I will be very proud to do that. Sorry, I will stop.
Yes.
And
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Daniel. We have a few questions in the chat box, if you want to answer some of them.
Okay, that's a question about the European Commission. What is doing the European Commission in the health sovereign digital identity? We are very aligned on this project. That is why that I was talking in my presentation. Our definition of digital identity, it's related to the empowerment of the citizen. Is not only a way to interact with the government or with the companies. It's really a new way to empower for the digital services the citizens. And the digital identity, the self-sovereign digital identity, will be a facilitator for new ways of digital business. Right now we are in the nets of Google, LinkedIn, or other Facebook or other big platforms to enable some services, or in some cases some of the banks. And with this self-sovereign digital identity will be really a change of more distributed and more democratic way of digital business, or a way of digital services. Also, there is a question about 5G. In this case, talks about if I think that 5G is a secure technology. The same as it's happening in other fields like Industry 4.0. The mobile networks has been isolated to the artificial intelligence, to the digital services. And with 5G, what we are providing, it's a kind of incorporating the digital space, the digital services, or the digital transactions within the network. We can define networks by software. We can change the prioritization of the traffic by software. And that means that then we can have also more vulnerabilities and more risks in the network. But the development of the standards in the European Union and worldwide of 5G are incorporating all these secure environments as really a priority. But for sure will be a need of incorporate more and more trust on that. Maybe blockchain technology will be also in the future a key technology for incorporate in the networks, in the mobile networks, on IoT, also more trust and more security. There is also about how government is supporting the startups here. We have different programs. We have programs that are transversal programs for a startup. Startup Catalonia, it's a program of the government that is helping the companies. But from the policy department, we have a specific activities to help this kind of company. And we will create alliance to put together all these companies. And this alliance will be the place where we can share also and promote together new experiences. We want to help the startups providing talent, providing research and innovation, and also to helping for connecting to the global space. We are not, at least in our department, helping for invest or all the more related things to entrepreneurship. That is from another department. We are working together with the other departments of the government to help in a holistic way the startups. We have a little bit more of time, Victoria.
If you want to answer the last question, and then then we will wrap up.
We are analyzing the EPSI development, and maybe in the next days, weeks, we will have news on that. Yes, our aim is to work together with the European Commission, also in the relation related to digital identity.
Danielle, I think I want to answer just one of the questions before we wrap up. Well, first of all, thank you so much for your keynote. Very interesting, and I'm also very happy to be living here in Barcelona, part of Catalonia. I was born in Copenhagen and have been living here for the past several years. So I'm very grateful to be here and seeing how you're supporting the blockchain ecosystem. And just one way you're supporting startups actually in the blockchain ecosystem is by having 6 startups in the exhibition area. So if any of you want to meet these Catalan startups, you have to go to the exhibition area, and then you can chat and meet them there and ask about what they're doing. So that's just a way to show what you're doing. And well, very grateful. And I also hope that, I know other governments are doing similar stuff and have a blockchain strategy, but I actually hope that all governments in the world will do it, because this way things will go faster. So Danielle, thank you so much for your keynote. Thank you so much for your support. I think for now it's time to have lunch, even though it's very early in Barcelona, where both I and Danielle are. So if not, an early lunch. But again, thank you so much, Danielle. Thank you to everyone who has been listening. Thank you for all your questions. Quick lunch, quick coffee, and we will be back in half an hour with our panel about digital assets. So again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Danielle. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.